Hello and welcome to another episode of O Faces. I'm your host, Mrs. Mocha, and we're back in the Dirty Girls Corner with Carrie.
Hey guys.
And Megan. I almost forgot your name. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just
Hi
joking.
guys.
And we're here with Bambi today.
Hi.
I sound like a toddler
Yay.
teacher. Bambi today.
Hi, Bambi.
Welcome to the Dirty Girls Corner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
We can reference the last episode. We had to, this is our redo.
Take two.
Yeah,
Take
take two.
Yeah.
We had a 2-week break.
Yeah.
Take two, thanks to Tito's.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
We had a run in with Tito's, and
Tito's
it was
and
interesting.
Fireball, I
Was
think.
it Crown? No, Crown
Oh,
Apple.
it was Crown. It was Crown's.
You guys were
caramel
Crown.
and apple and peach.
Oh yeah, I had my Crown Peach.
You guys started with Crown, and
Girl, I was
I
fine.
started with Tito's.
I was fine.
I was not.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I don't remember ending the
I
podcast.
was completely sober.
Poor Carrie.
You maybe did some other things.
Yeah. I love the 420. So
We're 420 friendly.
yes. But yeah,
Maybe it'll work out better today with that instead of Tito's.
I think it'll be okay today.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do good.
Yeah.
Bye, Tito.
Fine. Bye,
Bye, Tito. You won't
Yeah.
be missed
Sorry,
on this
Tito.
episode.
That's correct.
Yeah, Tito definitely did us bad last episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally woke up the next day and was just like in awe. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, she texted.
I don't even know of what happened at the end. Did we end the podcast? And how did it even end?
What did I say? How did I end up in this bed? Who put me in this bed?
I remember it was a shit show.
It was a shit show.
Me and Carrie tried to guide it a few times.
It was. Yeah.
I don't
was a
think
crash
you could have,
landing.
You couldn't have stopped that
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just all over the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it was, well, we're back for a redo.
Yeah,
We're doing a redo.
But you know what? It was the content was so good, and the company was so good that
Yeah.
We just want to redo
repeat.
it all over again.
yeah.
I think towards the end, though, like, I wasn't even actually speaking words. I may have been like speaking in tongues or something.
I'm not sure that I did either.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But we're here. We're back
okay.
again.
Yeah.
For the redo.
It's a chance to redeem ourselves.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to focus a little bit on Bambi today. So tell us how you got into lifestyle.
Okay.
For the second time.
Yeah. Round 2. We need like a bell.
Okay. A bell.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was not a party girl. I was in monogamous relationships most of my young adult life. And I got married, not until I was 29 though, so that's a little bit late, I think. But I got married and to a personal trainer. And I got heavy into fitness and bodybuilding and competitions and things like that. And I was actually very jealous because I have always been a very pragmatic type of person. I've approached relationships very pragmatically. You know, this is a thing that makes sense. This is a thing that doesn't. That sounds terrible, but it's true.
No. I
used to
mean,
be
you know yourself.
I used to be a very jealous person too, so that's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so I date this personal trainer, and he actually won a bodybuilding competition, and he was in really great shape, and it was very lustful. Very lustful. It escalated very quickly into lust and then marriage, and we got married and we were together for like a year and we get married, and then I have all these jealousy things, and then 7 years later we get divorced, and I am in literally the best shape of my life. Like I feel really great about myself, except my marriage is going to shit. And so I didn't really party. I never really drank. I didn't smoke. Well, I smoked cigarettes.
I smoke them cigarettes.
I smoked them cigarettes.
Just a little cigarette every once in a while.
That was my Southern coming out.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens to all of us.
I smoked prior to my relationship with him, but I never really did 420. Like I dabbled a little, but nothing serious. I really didn't party. And when I got divorced, I was like, you know what? I want to let my inner freak flag fly. Like I want to fuck. I want to fuck everybody. And I knew, I know.
I think we all go through that at some point.
Right? Like, I was like, I really want to be a slut. I want to, if someone's going to be like, hey, let's fuck. And I'm going to be like, yeah, let's fuck. And I knew that I had some bi tendencies, but I really hadn't explored that either. I did a little bit, like I guess the 18, 19, probably the same age that a lot of chicks go through that, like, right? They're like, oh, I'm bi. And
in
then
college, yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I'm not.
I'm bi when I'm drunk.
Women are like spaghetti, straight until they get wet.
Yep.
So,
how many shots till you get by?
Exactly. Wait, is this an actual question?
No. Like,
oh, okay.
Every woman has
okay,
a certain
yes.
amount where if they have enough shots, they might be
exactly. Yes. So I'm coming out of this divorce.
True
and
facts.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm coming out of this divorce, and I feel like I'm looking really good. And I am a little bit heartbroken because I kind of thought this was the man I was going to be with for forever. But I'm also like, fuck it, I'm going to... if I'm not going to be in a forever relationship, I might as well slut it up, right? And so I'm wondering how to go about getting into basically being a unicorn. I didn't know what it was called at the time. But I wanted to be a unicorn because I thought if I get involved with a couple, no strings attached. It'll be just like wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I can move on, go to the next couple.
And you get the man and the woman,
right?
So
you get
try
everything.
out your bi tendencies.
That's that.
Exactly.
What is it? The pragmatic side.
Yes, I was being very logical.
Yeah.
I can get twice the sex in one experience.
Right.
Extra slutty with one.
Exactly. And so it just so happens that I was at work one day. And they were doing some construction on our floor or something. And so I was in a section of the building that I'm normally not in. And I run into someone that I've known for 20-something years that I don't want to say because it will give away my age, but a while. And I run into him. This was actually before the divorce. I run into him and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea that you worked here. How crazy. And so we talked a little bit, but we're both married at the time. And I was doing a competition. So he's like, let's go to lunch and hang out. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't eat out because food is bad for you.
I can only eat pure protein.
I can only eat almonds and
I got some
romaine lettuce.
girl.
Right, exactly.
Some broccoli.
I got some
fish.
protein.
Yeah,
I'll give you a protein shake. And so he's like, well, once you do your competition thing, whatever, can we go to lunch? I'm like, yeah. And then I dropped off the face of the fucking earth. And then all of a sudden I spring back up and I'm like, oh, sorry that I dropped off the face of the earth, but I was getting a divorce. And he's like, oh, are you okay? Do you want to talk? And I'm like, no. And he's like, let's talk. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, fine.
And so he kind of helps me through the divorce. He's actually being very supportive and trying to kind of like, you know, just help support. He is, I will say that he's a very giving, nurturing individual.
Yes.
And I think most of you can attribute to that.
Yes.
We've been at plenty of lifestyle events where he's holding some chick's hair and taking care of her. And I'm like, dude, I want to go fuck somebody.
He's a gentleman. Total
he is
gentleman.
a gentleman, yes. He's very kind of old school, old style gentleman.
Oh, I love that.
And so he's like, let me take you out for a drive and cheer you up, whatever. And then a couple months after the divorce, and I'm starting to get frisky, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck everybody. And he's like, okay, do you want me to help you with that? And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, well, you have to put an ad on Craigslist. And
because at the time, Craigslist was the shit.
At the time, Craigslist was where you go for, what was it called?
Freaky shit. It was like personals, but
Seeking.
personals.
Yeah,
we
the
did
personal.
look there when me and Tommy were first thinking of having.
That's where you had to go.
They banned
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Because we were like, I don't know.
Some of our hottest experiences were Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah.
We never actually did it,
Craigslist-
but we did look it up.
To me was like kind of like FetLife. Anybody that's on FetLife, I say that because
I mean, I'm
it's
on
either
everything.
like a great or like oh my
awful.
god, that was super creepy. Like what happened? But
Mm-hmm.
wait, I mean, we were like the same as you guys. We were Craigslist was the shit.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So first of all, he's like, you need some pictures. And I'm like, pictures? And he's like, yeah, let me take some pictures of you fully clothed. Because again, at the time, we were not fucking.
Mm-hmm.
And
But you told him you wanted to fuck everybody else.
Right.
That's fucking awesome.
He's like secretly hoping you'll.
yeah, so I do hope that he comes to do a podcast because if he talks about it, he'll kind of talk about how from the day he met me, I was his number
Yes,
one.
he was crushing. He'd been
he was
crushing
for
on
years.
years.
It's very, very sweet.
I want Tommy to be on
It's
too.
very
he needs to tell our
sweet.
story.
But also at the time, he was still married, so he was, I think, legit. Like, let me help this chick be a slut, and then she can be happy, and maybe I
was
can
trying to
like
separate himself
forget
a little
about
bit.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, you got to post on Craigslist, and I didn't really know what Craigslist was because I wasn't a freak as much as I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so
You have to work your way up.
you
to it.
have to work your way up.
Yeah.
To learn
Although
how
I
to be
kind of
freaky.
went from like 0 to 60, but anyway,
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of.
it's all right. That's
I
okay.
think all four of us were
That's
like
why
that.
we're-
It's
yeah.
probably
We were like, oh,
why-
I'm so
we really
sweet,
had
innocent.
no idea what we were doing, and then all of a sudden,
But we
were
just dove
full
right
on
in.
and then
Yeah.
we're just
like, oh, we're
sluts.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Full
here
on
we go.
slut.
That's why we're all here together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we post on Craigslist, and I did get a few responses, but as I'm sure you know and the listeners know, Craigslist is very iffy, right?
Yeah.
It's very, you have to wonder about some of these people, and they probably wonder about you. And anyway, so nothing really came of the Craigslist, but next thing you know, we're hanging out quite a bit, and now he's going through his own problems with his marriage. And I actually several times was like, I need to back off here because I can't be that person, right? I'm not a homewrecker. And then he ended up getting divorced, and it was very much like, I don't want to get too much of his like shit away, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not my
Right,
place. But she apparently said to him, if it weren't for the kids, I would have left you a long time ago. And he's like, well, okay, well then I guess it's over. Anyway, so they separate, and now it's kind of okay to hook up, right? And so it kind of naturally progressed to
So were you kind of already crushing on him too,
I
or you thought about it at least?
you know
Just
what's
say yes.
Or were you
really
trying to keep that boundary up so you didn't really cross
I was
it?
trying to keep the boundary, but I will admit that I am apparently not only a slut but a really huge flirt. And so I think that there were definitely, I know, there were definitely times that I was flirting with him that I shouldn't have been. And I think that I'm, not now, but at least back then, legit, I'm really not trying to make excuses. I think I was naive enough to think, like, it's cool because nothing will ever come of it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I get
I can flirt with so and
thought it
so
was a safe
because,
person.
yeah, because they
Almost
clearly
like
can't.
unattainable.
Right.
Unattainable,
They,
yeah.
can't,
So it's
they
like, oh,
clearly
it's fine.
can't really want to fuck me. So if I flirt with them, it's totally fine because nothing will ever come of it.
Well,
But
and if
then,
you'd been
yeah,
really innocent before, it's almost like you're
have you
practicing.
seen you?
No.
Like
You're probably
anyone you flirt with is gonna want to fuck you.
But
like,
think about
I
it.
also
If you've
have
just
seen
come out of a
Nicole's-
really
That's
shitty
true.
relationship, your
That's
self-esteem
true.
is shithole.
It
Yeah,
was shit.
that's true.
Yeah. This is
You
a
have to
little
build
bit
yourself
off track,
back
but
up.
I legit, even when I, to myself, was like the hottest I feel like I've ever been, which a lot of people would probably be like, no, because I was like super skinny. But anyway, I legit, people would look at me, and I think we all know here that I've got RBF. I'll have to demonstrate for the camera. People would look at me, and I'd be like, what? Be like, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, what's your problem, bro? Like, I would get,
so aggressive.
I would get, the gym especially. Guys would look at
Didn't
me
you
and I'd
always
be
get
like,
where they'd be like, smile?
yes.
I hate
You'd be so
that.
pretty.
I hate
You'd be so
that.
pretty if you'd smile. I'm like, fuck you.
I'm pretty already, bitch.
I'm fucking, go fuck yourself. Anyway, So I have
Are
admittedly.
you sure it's just resting bitch face?
It's all of the bitch face.
Hey, you gotta have a little bitch. In
Got to.
It's all
Sometimes
of
it's
the
a little,
bitch.
a little spicy.
So much bitch. I have been called intimidating, and I'm usually like, good. But that's not good for a party. But anyway.
But at parties, I don't feel like you're like that.
Well, it's a little bit different when I'm naked.
Right. I've never.
It doesn't really matter what my face looks like.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no,
when I
I don't.
first met
I
you, you were
disagree. You were
super
very
sweet.
happy
Was
and friendly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Probably
disagree.
drinking.
You're very
You were.
approachable.
Yeah.
You were drinking, but the first time I met you,
We
you
all
were
are.
super sweet.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Same.
think, were we in y'all's room? Carrie, were we in y'all's?
Was that
Were we
the
at a
hotel
hotel
party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I met Bambi.
I was probably like, oh my God. you're
Wasn't that
kids.
when there was kind of like an orgy happening?
In
That's the,
in
no,
their
that's the
room?
first
that
time
in
Steve
their room?
let me play with them.
Oh no, that maybe that was the next time then that y'all were in our room.
Which
that was
party?
the first time.
Wait.
That was the
First
very
one.
first time. I
Which
didn't
party
meet
is
Bambi
this?
that time.
I don't, it was at the
New
hotel
Year's-
party.
Was this the fight party?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. That
fight
was that
party.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I wasn't at that one.
Yeah, you
No,
weren't there.
You weren't there.
No, I'm
very
talking
When I
about.
first met you,
The
right?
when I met you, when I met Miss Mocha, Bambi wasn't there. That was a
Right.
different hotel.
That was a different. That
Okay,
That's when
'cause
Mr. Mocha motorboated my tits
Oh
all
my
night.
god!
Nice.
And then
so perverted.
when I first met Bambi, you weren't at that hotel party.
That-
no,
yeah.
I
But
wasn't
yeah,
at
that was
one.
the fight party. That was
When
the
you
fight hotel
first
party.
met me, was I naked?
You were naked.
Of course.
Yes, totally naked.
That's
yeah. I was like,
We
oh,
have that in
okay.
common.
And then there were, I
Yeah,
think
you
you were
last
the only
very
bi
long.
woman in the room too. So I was like, okay, but I don't really know her, but okay.
Let me get in there. Where were we? Okay, so yeah, so I was admittedly a flirt, and no, originally when I met him, he's gonna hate. He knows this though. Originally when I met him, I very much considered him like a brother, or like he was definitely friend zoned.
He was a safe,
Definitely
safe,
friend.
yeah.
And the thing is, one of the things that I've always loved about him is I've always felt very safe with him. I could talk about anything, and like, I don't know how to phrase this quite correctly, but he's seen the worst of me. I'm so blatantly open with him, even when maybe sometimes I shouldn't be. Like when I'm being a crazy bitch, or when I'm super.
There's never a time
No,
you shouldn't be open
yeah,
with your
you should
partner.
be that.
But
yeah.
I felt like with my ex, I was myself, but I also kind of
Held back.
held back, or I kind of like
Filtered a little bit.
adjusted to his lifestyle. And with Pete, I feel very much like sometimes I say shit that in my brain I'm like, you probably shouldn't have said that, but I do it anyway, and he continues to accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
And so I've always felt very comfortable talking to him. So I think that it was just kind of a natural progression from chatting, little bit of flirting to, oh, okay, I think now I got some feels.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
So
How many
though.
times do we say, Mrs. Mocha, that the number one thing in navigating this lifestyle is communication?
Communication.
Oh, for
even
sure.
if it's like
You have
you
to be
just
able to
said.
communicate.
You said it really well. You said there's things I think that I shouldn't say, but that's what you're thinking.
it just
The
comes
hardest-
out, right?
Mr. Mocha and I have some of the hardest conversations, but in the end, it like makes us better.
Closer,
Well,
right?
it's the kind of stuff that in normal relationships, I feel like you would never actually say out loud.
Oh,
or
right,
discuss.
right.
You would just like, those are the things that you kind of like hide or put
Yeah.
deep down, and then like they kind of fester and stuff. But
Yeah.
in the lifestyle, because you have to be open in order
Yeah.
for it to work.
Yeah,
Right.
For sure.
You have to be like
and you
transparent.
have to communicate well.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, I love that about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you overthink that sometimes, because even Mr. Mocha, he's very like blunt and to the point, and there's certain things that he says to me that obviously he hurts my feelings, but he's just not good at sugarcoating at all. Like, it's his delivery most of the time that hurts my feelings,
Right.
not necessarily what he says.
yeah.
It's
How
his
he says
delivery. Yeah, his delivery.
And that's the same with my daddy is like, I'll say something and he'll just be like, yep. And I'm like, you weren't supposed to say that. You're supposed to be like, no, baby, whatever. You know, you're supposed to lie to me a little bit. But he can. He's like incapable of lying, which is also awesome.
Yes, I agree with that. But just like Carrie said, like sometimes that's a double-edged sword because there are times where I'm like, how does this look? And he's like, well, you kind of look pregnant in it. And I'm like, fuck, I love this dress. I just wanted you to say that it was fine.
Yeah.
Right. But he doesn't lie, so I don't wear the dress.
That's when you have someone like Tommy who is like kind of, he just is pretty like
polite
even
about
keeled
it
all the time. He's just pretty even keeled most of the time. And so I'll be like, does this look good? And he's like, yeah, that looks hot. And I'm like, what about this one? Do you like this one better? That one looks hot too. And I'm like, okay, but which one looks good? And he's like,
they're good.
You always look hot, babe. And I'm like, man, fuck. Now I don't know what to wear. Right. Tell me which one looks better. Damn.
Yeah,
That's kind of
Mr.
what I
Mocha
get.
is complete opposite of that. He was like, I already know. Like, I'll put something on, like, walk out of the room. I'll be like, what do you think of this? And if he hesitates at all, I know that it's an automatic no. And I'll be like, never mind. Fuck it. I'm leaving.
I think Tommy just doesn't really like, he really just looks like the whole package. Like, he's like, yeah, that looks good. Like, he's a total dude. He's such a dude. So he's just like, yeah, okay. I see tits. I see ass. Yeah, I like it.
It looks good. It looks good
to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, like, make Mr. Mocha sound like a dickhead because he's not.
No,
He's probably a little more observant
No.
or, like, particular.
Steve is the same way. Steve will just drop the bomb that
that's not doing it
Yeah,
for
like, don't wear that.
Well, sometimes I
Don't do
wish.
that.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be nice. You know, you could wish like, okay, today.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it's like, okay, today I want this one that's just gonna think I look hot and everything.
Yeah.
Today I want this one.
But
that's gonna tell me the
that's
truth.
his
Which one do you like?
truth. For
Right,
him,
yeah.
you look
To
hot
him,
and
he's like,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To him, he's being honest.
Yeah.
If he really didn't like it, he'd be like,
You do kind of look hot and everything, though.
Yeah.
True.
And I think it also goes back to like your guy knowing about like your body image stuff. Like, you know, they go back to that. So some men don't want to say because they do think that you're hot. So why would they say anything about anything?
Yeah.
Mr. Mocha thinks I'm hot. He's just super fucking blunt. Let's just say it how it is. He's just super fucking blunt. And I think there always has to be like one in the relationship. Like I think you probably are just the more blunt person and you're Pete maybe too.
We both,
or on different things.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, that's how me and Tommy are too.
Yeah,
certain things I'm a little more, and then certain things he is.
Yeah. But I am also pretty blunt. Sometimes I'll say something. I'm like, I probably could have phrased that differently.
When I was in the very beginning, when Mr. Mocha and I were in the very beginning of our relationship, that was the thing I struggled with the most is like filtering what I was saying or thinking about something before I say it. And it was really bad. I know I don't have a filter now, but if you guys had met me 9 years ago, you literally would be like,
I'd be like, no, what do you,
fuck? It's okay.
Miss Mocha, what do you really think about that?
Yeah. It was like really bad.
Tell you.
But I went really wild. Like for a while now, I sugarcoat like a little bit, like you know,
It's not sugar-coated. You tone it down.
Yeah,
You think about. I just like that Bambi said. You know, she'll say something and then she thinks maybe I shouldn't have phrased it that way. The fact that you're even thinking about it is amazing.
Yeah.
Most people will just say it and just keep on going.
And sometimes what I'll do is say something and then I'm like, I didn't mean that the way it sounded. And 9 times out of 10, if I say that, he's like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Every now and again, he'll be like, okay, explain. And I'm like, okay, yes, let's take it back. Let me explain what I meant.
Right.
But yeah, and it's funny because there have been times that we've gone out in the vanilla world that lack of filter, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe you just said that. But it's really one of the things that I really love about him that brought me close to him because I like the fact that he's so open, he's so unfiltered. You don't really have to guess what he's thinking.
Yeah.
You know, know.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty amazing. So we very quickly I don't want to say very quickly, it took some time, but we progressed. And just for clarification, and this sounds really mean and see here I am overthinking, but I never thought like, oh, I'm going to jump in the sack with him. Like that wasn't my intention. It just kind of naturally progressed, which is probably
That's a better way to do it.
For it to happen.
Yeah.
But because we kind of started the relationship with me talking about fucking everybody.
Like, you still want to fuck everybody, right?
I kind of do. And so we very quickly, we weren't together, using air quotes, because we don't really have a date, and that kind of sucks. Like, we've talked about, we need to create an anniversary date because we don't really have one. But we very quickly kind of progressed to going to trap.
Yeah.
So we went from, oh my gosh, let's fuck each other to let's fuck
everybody else.
Although I think, like a lot of couples, we started with me exploring the bi side, and it was just going to be like kind of girl on girl, and him either participating if she was comfortable, or if not, just kind of watching. And
you do your thing.
Yeah. And then it didn't take very long until we were like, okay, well, swapping is kind of the way to go. You get a lot more participation. It's super hot. And honestly, I didn't think this at first, but I was the one that struggled with it more. I was the one, he was totally like, yeah, go fuck that guy, go ahead. And I was like, if you fuck that girl, are you still gonna want to fuck me tomorrow? I had the insecurities, which I guess kind of does make sense
a little bit.
Yeah. So it very quickly
again
progressed.
that stems from previous relationships sometimes, because I was very much the same way with Mr. Mocha. Like, he set me up, not to cut you off, but quick story. He set me up with like one of his friends, and I was terrified when he left the room, not of the guy. I was so worried about him being jealous that like it ended very quickly. It was good, but it ended quickly because I was like, why did he leave the room? Is he upset? Is he jealous? So you just get in your head about stuff, you know?
Right. Well, I was thinking, okay, if he hooks up with some chick that has a better pussy than me, and like she's like, because again, I hadn't gotten really wild. Like, I was a freak, but I hadn't quite figured out how to let I was closeted. Yeah, I hadn't figured out how to let my freak flag fly. And I'm like, he's gonna hook up with some chick, and she's gonna be
gonna ride that dick.
She's gonna ride that dick like a pro, and he's gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing with Bambi? Like, I could totally. Do you know what I mean? So it was really, in the beginning, he would say, like, we would leave trap. And I will say that as long as you have that communication and you can talk about it and you're open, I think it makes you strong. Like, it makes that relationship stronger, just like we're talking about. And oftentimes, I don't know about y'all, but we would go home after trap, even if we had hooked up and like fuck the shit out of each other. You're like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And it's 100% like,
it's like you reclaim your dick.
Yeah. And he's reclaiming you, and you're reclaiming him.
The reclamation.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's the next day.
Well, yeah. If you wear yourself. If you're falling asleep on the way home, then you gotta wait.
We got like a decade on you.
While my eyes are closed on the way home.
But
it happens to the best of us.
So in the beginning, obviously, I'm a little bit jaded, and I will admit that he's a little bit of a romantic than I am. And so we would be on the way home, and he would say, I love you, and I promise I'll love you forever. And I'm like, you can't promise that, because, in my head, I'm still thinking about my past relationships and whatever. And that person promised to love me too. And, I was still a little bit jaded. And he would say, okay, well, then I promise to love you tomorrow. And so every day he would say, I love you. I promise to love you tomorrow. Every night before we went to bed, I love you. I promise to love you tomorrow. And then it started to become, I promise to love you tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you love me.
You're like,
okay, I got it. You love me. You do. You've stuck by me this long.
I believe it now.
Yeah, I believe you. We're good.
Yeah.
So that's how it developed from,
So you just kind of went into it swinging, just didn't know it.
Yeah. I mean, and the very first night we went was a Thursday night, and
not a terrible night, but
I love trap on Thursdays.
Yeah,
it's kind of
slow.
like
More
a hit
intimate.
or miss though. Like you'll if there aren't a lot of people there, you're there with some of the greatest staff.
Oh yeah, and they're so fun.
And they're so fun.
It's like your local bar.
Exactly.
The feel you get.
Yeah, and if there are people there, it's always like damn, it's someone hot, someone unexpected.
Yeah.
Thursdays are fun.
Yeah.
That's a good first night.
Ended
First
up
time.
in the Diamond Club because someone could clearly tell that I was nervous, I think, and whatever. And they took us back to the Diamond Club and we were hanging out.
No, they smelled fresh meat.
fresh meat.
Damn, nobody took me to the Diamond Club.
We went to the Diamond Club. And that first night, I ended up with a chick, and I did end up with cock in my mouth because I was eating her and he was fucking her, and then I know,
Listen to this.
Damn.
and we're going home, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are we okay? And he's like, did you have a good time? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, then we're good. I was like, okay, cool. And then I woke up very sick.
From the cum?
No, from the alcohol. From the alcohol. I relied on alcohol in the beginning.
Liquid courage.
Liquid courage.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
It really is.
Clearly, I still enjoy it occasionally.
As do we all.
As we did in the
I
last
agree.
podcast.
Yeah,
We started doing this.
So you were talking about your experience at Trap, and you went to Diamond Club, and you threw up the next day because you got sick from
A
alcohol.
lot. I had to go get IV fluids.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Yeah,
It
you
was
definitely got
bad.
sick.
It is
was
really hard though to
bad.
not have like some type of liquid courage going into that. If you
Yeah.
really don't
Right.
drink a lot and you get in the lifestyle, it's gonna change.
Right, and that was the thing is I really hadn't drank before that, so I didn't know my limits.
happens.
Lifestyle is a lot like a frat party where it's just like shot.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
Trap before, like not before, I don't want to say before, but there's like old Trap and new Trap. We'll talk about that later. But when
I never saw
Diamond
Old
Club,
Trap.
well, it was still Diamond Club, but when Diamond Club first opened, they had one of the managers and like 3 or 4 Diamond Club members that were regulars that would bring like Jello shots for everybody.
Well, didn't they have a hot tub back there too?
That was before
that was
Diamond
before
Club.
Diamond
Hot
Club.
tubs, yeah.
I got in that one time, and the next day I felt like I had scabies or something, but I'm totally like paranoid. Like
I'm
that.
with no hot tub in a club.
I mean, think about what things were
no,
in
thank
there.
you.
I was
Yeah.
so paranoid, and the couple
Maybe a
were like,
small
I wouldn't
group
do
at
that
a
at
cabin, but
I
not
wouldn't
a
do
club,
that at like
no.
a hotel. Like
Yeah.
why would I do that
Yeah.
at a swingers
Yeah.
club?
Maybe at like a private cabin
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
like somebody
beach
was
house,
like,
something
literally the couple that we're talking to was like, just get in, and I was like, I'll just put my feet in. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. My legs are itching. I was so overthinking it.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah.
so tell them about how you met me and Mr. Mocha.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let me hear.
Yeah. So we were at Trap again. So maybe the first time we went, it may have been before the Diamond Club. So I may have been mistaken because they did have the hot tubs.
Yes.
And it was the same thing, like, oh, let's get in
Well-
the hot tub. And I was like, fuck no.
They did have the hot tubs after they built the Diamond Club,
Oh.
but they took them out very shortly afterwards because of injuries and things. So.
Well, yeah. 'Cause- but also gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, people probably were getting...
Well, they're getting out with wet feet and it's marble
slipping,
floor, and
yeah.
women were walking
Stupid.
through watching people fucking like in the jacuzzis in heels. Like you almost kill yourself.
Oh
that
my
was not a good
God.
combination.
No.
So we're at Trap. This is probably pretty early on, and I think it was kind of a nondescript night. Like we're not, because again, Trap is hit or miss, right? Like you go and you have an amazing fucking night, and like maybe you have, I don't know, you can hook up with lots of people, or sometimes you go and like nothing happens, and you're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
we're.
Oh, do you want to go
just
fuck in the
home.
room?
Yeah, we'll
Right,
just go, or we'll just go home and fuck because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and let's just get home,
Yeah.
and then we
Nothing's
can pass
happening.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we can pass out, and we'll be home and whatever. And I think it was one of those nights that we were just like, okay, whatever. We were in Gin Pop, as Carrie would call it. We're in Gin Pop, and I do love to dance, so I'm pretty sure that I was dancing But it's time to go. It's probably like 2 or 3 in the morning, and we're in the dressing room and we're getting dressed. And Mrs. Mocha just walks up to Pete and grabs his dick and shakes it and says, "Hi, I'm Mrs. Mocha."
That doesn't sound like her at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's just kind of like, okay, yes, thank you.
And I was like, this is how you handshake.
This is how you handshake here. And he's like, okay, that's perfect.
That's the secret handshake.
That's the secret handshake.
I'm gonna start doing that to people in travel.
And then I think my introduction to Mr. Mocha was he just reached over and kind of like grabs my tit and starts playing with it. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I'm thinking about having them done. And he's like, don't you dare. Don't touch those titties. And I'm like, oh, okay,
that sounds just like him.
Thank you very much. And I don't even know, I don't think we even exchanged. Did we exchange
phone numbers?
We did. Okay.
Yes, we did. Because that's how we got back a hold of you guys later on.
Oh, yeah, for the party.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm sorry that I just walked up and grabbed his dick.
I
love it.
She liked it.
I did. Yeah, it made an impression. I was like, sweet.
She did not forget you after that.
That is correct.
I think you guys are always looking out for hot couples to add to your parties, and you guys saw them, and you were like, boom.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to
bring them over here.
Let's find out their story.
That was literally like pre-parties. Like, not really pre-parties, but we hadn't really started like doing bigger parties or like groups of people yet. We just were like
the beginning stages.
Yeah, exactly.
Of parties.
And then
we were just regulars then.
That's how we met. And I have to use quotes because I know that Steve had an encounter with me. But that's how we met Carrie and Steve at your party.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Bambi was naked in the kitchen.
Of course I was.
There was some sexual acts taking place on your kitchen
lot of
floor.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Where was I? I'm just kidding.
Maybe at the bottom of that dog pile. I'm not sure.
The most awesome thing was there was some pussy eating and some cock sucking and some all kinds of stuff. There was basically an orgy right by the kitchen table. And then people were literally like,
this was at our house party.
At a house party.
I'm sad I missed this one.
This was at the very first house party that I came to.
Yeah, it was our first one too.
Yeah.
And then people were literally, so we're right.
I'm like the newbie of this group.
We're in front of the kitchen table and people are just like, I'm just going to reach around here and get a snack.
Yeah, they're just like eating chips and dip and like watching.
Ritz crackers.
Yeah,
that's pretty hot.
Take that dick.
That's hot. Let's have a sausage. Let's have a pepperoni. Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
Spit on that shit.
Yeah.
Hand me that cheese.
If I remember correctly, I think I was being eaten by a chick. But there was also some dick sucking going on. But then there was also, I don't remember. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
Yeah, that was definitely
So that's when
a good
you
party.
saw her?
It was a good.
That was the first time that I had put the face to the name because I had been
Bambi.
hearing the name Bambi for about 2 months because Steve, Steve had an encounter with her at a New Year's Eve hotel party.
It was like
and he couldn't stop talking about her for 2 months. So I was like, who is this Bambi?
Who's this Bambi bitch?
I don't know her. I've not seen this person in Lifestyle. And then I met her and she was fucking awesome.
Oh, I kind of like her too.
Yeah.
We sat on the couch for what, like 45 minutes or something, just chatting.
Yeah.
Like we were
you
just
guys
sitting
are
there
so cool.
and just hanging out.
You know, we clicked, we connected. So, yeah, that was your first house party that we had gone to. We'd been to other house parties, but
it wasn't your first ever house party, was it?
No, you guys had I think 1 or 2 previously.
I think we just had, before the one you guys came to, we had one on just a much smaller scale. There were like 30 or 40 people here versus like 200.
Right, right.
Which was much more manageable because by like 10:30 everyone was down here fucking, and then by like 1 everyone was gone, and I was like, oh God. And you know, like the bigger parties are fun, but they're definitely, it's like 20% fucking and the rest people are just socializing.
Yeah.
And literally we were like kicking everyone out at 3:00 in the morning, like, okay, you guys gotta go.
Right.
Like I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of us.
No, Mr. Mocha took you back to your car.
Yeah.
We didn't kick you out.
We
kicked
told
everyone else
to
out.
stay. Yes.
Yeah.
We had an
if
invite.
you're offered a room,
We
then
had an
you're
invite.
golden. You're in.
They were in our bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
There you
we
go.
had a
They
little
had the
invite.
prime location.
I think what Mr. Mocha said verbatim was, "Don't you go anywhere."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
He's a little demanding sometimes.
I like
No,
it.
he's just he's
what he
honest.
wants.
Yeah,
I love it.
just
I love it.
no games. I
Right.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sexy.
It's that
Do not
bluntness.
move.
It's the bluntness
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he didn't like that he
okay.
just came down here and none of us looked at him and his towel.
Well, we're
I
trying to
winked
stay
at him.
I
focused.
know.
I
Like,
just
what
didn't
the
talk
heck?
about him on the podcast. He was down here in
maybe-
his
presenting.
towel.
I thought maybe he was
winked
going to
at
give
him.
us the
the massage room.
Like at
trial.
least like a slap
He
of
was-
the dick,
he
you
was
know?
Yeah, man, show me the
presenting.
goods.
He was
If you
presenting.
want me to talk about you on the air, give me some shit, man.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to take the
Do some
towel
dance
off.
on this.
Something.
Like, give me a dance, boy.
Right. Come on.
You hear this, Mr. Mocha?
He
Come
doesn't
on.
want to be on the video.
He's fine.
Oh, yeah, he was walking around.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
walking
he was
I got my
around.
dance
being
later.
kind of
Yeah.
cautious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
that was awesome.
Thanks.
Your story time was awesome.
story time.
Story time with Bambi kids.
Yeah,
Gather round.
Exactly.
I have another funny story, but I don't think we have time.
What?
Well,
Do you need
I
to
mean,
be somewhere?
no.
Okay. Then we have time.
I think we always ask new guests what their
Yeah, ask
hottest experience
Oh,
was in
yeah.
lifestyle. What one of your hottest memories in lifestyle?
That's a good question. My hottest experience in lifestyle. See. This is gonna feel like it feels kind of like a cop out answer, but it's honest. So for me, it's almost that reclamation that we were talking about. Like, I go and I fuck someone else, whether it's a male or a female, and I have a really great time. And then when we reconnect, that bond, I don't know, it's so strong. And like, sometimes I come so hard. Like, and I think it's that buildup of all that sexual tension and you're having such a good time. And even if it's the next day, it's just like you're reliving those memories and you're doing it together and you're talking about like, oh my God, I fucked Carrie and her pussy was so hot and it was so amazing and she can squeeze your dick and blah blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, tell me more. And I never thought that I would be in a scenario where my soulmate is talking about fucking other women. I'm like, yes, tell me more, because his happiness makes me happy and it's reciprocated, you know. And so we're talking about it and we're reliving it, and he's getting hard and I'm getting wet, and we're like, oh my God, let's fuck. And it's like that animalistic, wild, hot, like you're just it's like
Do
really
you talk about it during sex, or like do you just like lead up to it and then fuck?
mostly what I do during sex is scream. So not so much. I'm not the awesome with the talking like Carrie. Like, I don't know.
They're
I'm
both-
sorry. I'm
they're
not sure.
both- no,
Oh,
they're
do you
both
do it
talkers,
too?
yeah.
Do you do the talking?
Yeah, she's like,
and
"Oh,
stretch
yeah,
that
fuck
pussy
that
out.
pussy,
Like,
yeah."
okay, yeah.
I'm not as much of that.
I'm just
I
kinda-
can if
I'm
that's what
noises.
they like, or
I'm
they
just-
do it to me. But
Yeah,
I don't go straight for that.
I know it's kind of more leading up to it. Like you get very
The foreplay almost.
Yeah, the foreplay, and it's very awesome. And I think that some of the times that I've felt the closest to him is after we've had encounters with other people. And that I know for people outside of the lifestyle, that must be really, really difficult to understand. Like, how can you let someone else fuck your chick and then you... But it...
And then you feel closer after.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like, I don't know.
It's that, like Carrie always says, it's the vulnerability. You're
Yeah.
the most vulnerable because you've just did this thing that's super, like, whatever it may be, but it's considered like taboo, or society doesn't
Right.
like that or whatever. So, you know, that's the connection. We
And
did
you-
something
and
that we're
you're
not
both-
supposed to, and we're both
Yeah,
talking
and you're
about
Yeah,
it.
we're
and you're
still
both
okay.
into
Sharing
it. You're
it.
both
You're
into
sharing
it.
Yeah,
it.
we're
Right.
good. We're
Yeah.
happy. We're liking
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
We want each other's happiness.
And,
Right.
right.
Yeah,
How
right.
awesome is it when your partner wants you to be happy so much that when you're engaged in whatever you're doing, whatever intimate act that you're doing with someone else, that they see you happy and they're like, fuck yeah, get it. Like, get it.
We went to a little bit, kind of like a little, almost like a hotel party type thing not too long ago. And Tommy was like, I was giving lap dances to everybody. Yeah.
I heard.
Oh, you did?
I heard you were twerking on a lot of people.
I was. Yeah, I shoved some guy's face right in my crotch. I was standing up on the chairs.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, he was like, after we were all done, like, you know, I'm just having a good time, like living in the moment, feeling the music, whatever. And we walk away and he's like, babe, I just love how people look at you.
Yeah.
He's like, it's so fucking hot. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, the way they look at you, like men and women. He's like, I love it. It's so hot.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I don't even notice that, but I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
I'm just doing
Same.
Because you're doing what you would normally do. And a lot of people, I think, tend to be more reserved because they're worried about what other people think about them.
Yeah, I'm just like,
reserved.
I like this song.
But he
I'm
just
shake
likes,
my ass.
he likes,
confidence.
he gets off on seeing you happy.
Yeah.
And that's what's
I'm like,
so
he
sexy.
says that's like in my element. Like I am 100% free. I've let every guard down. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
And he loves to see me like
But
that.
I think we've talked about it before. Like when you're so vanilla all the time with kids and life and work
all
and
damn day.
just normal shit. Like honestly, that's the only place I can completely let loose and be 2000% myself.
I agree.
And at that, most times I don't give a fuck what people think of me. I just don't want to offend anyone.
Same.
I will.
I want to be nice and be respectful.
But I'm about to fuck all these dicks, and if you don't like it, I don't give a
my
fuck.
ass and put my titties all up and everywhere.
Exactly. If you're you want to give me some penis? All right. Hold on.
Wait, who's next? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't even know who's back there, but sure.
Take a number.
You guys were talking about like shots and like bisexual like stuff. And
how many shots? Everyone.
So I don't know the number for myself, but
you have one.
There is one.
Well, apparently so, because I think it was at Mr. Mocha's birthday party that there was like a new couple here, and I'm getting fucked. I'm fucking and sucking, like, you know, and then this chicklet comes in the room, and she was like, you know, whatever, and I kind of, this is so terrible, but did like the smell test because I don't.
You guys and your, I just stick my face right up in there.
Oh, I think
I
I'm
can't. I can't. I'm just weird about
I've never
smells.
had a bad experience. I don't know. I just
See,
never
my first
have.
two were really bad, so now it's just like
I never
in my
have.
head.
So
Yeah,
to me, I'm
lucky.
just like,
You're
just sit
lucky.
on my face, baby. Let's
yeah.
go.
So like,
I don't.
Damn.
I'm like holding a dick, getting fucked. Yeah, I'm holding a dick, getting fucked, and I'm just like eating this lady's pussy. And then I came out of the room like, damn, look at me.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me. Getting
Yeah.
that pussy.
Yeah.
Were you like,
Wow.
you were like slinging your hair over your shoulders? Like, bitch, I just did that. I just ate some pussy.
Fucking eat that pussy. Did you like that, girl? I did it good.
I mean, I can't say that I haven't had any experiences. I just hate telling people that I am even like bi-curious because
They automatically
some women
assume
are so
they're just
fucking aggressive.
yes.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. One of my earlier experiences with trap, I hooked up with a chick who was a squirter. But yeah, she squirted.
No, I
a
wasn't saying
lot.
ooh about that. I was saying ooh about my drink.
Your drink is nasty.
This one's better.
I love that he brought you something, but I'm also like, oh.
It's okay.
Do you want some water? I have
No,
regular water.
this is
right?
good.
That's just
chilling me out?
I'm drinking my fresh.
So she squirted so much that like my freaking hair was like sopping wet, and
What's
I was
up with
like,
the squirting in the hair?
it's too much.
Were you fingering her too?
I don't remember.
Okay, because I only squirt like.
I just
it has to
remember
be a
that
dick
I
or a
was
finger.
like,
if you're just eating my pussy, I'm not gonna squirt on you.
yeah, you usually have to hit the G spot, right?
Yeah,
like,
you
yeah.
gotta get up
I
in
can
there a
only
little
squirt
bit.
if you get you, and it's very specific. There's only been one man that has made me squirt, but
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I can do it to myself.
oh yeah. I can.
Well, if I use a dick, I don't have to hit my G spot. I just go back and
Really?
forth between my. I just like flick it back and forth,
I'm-
and then it's like whoosh.
Yeah, I'm not a good person to consult on this.
Yeah, I'm not good at. I'm not relaxed enough to squirt.
I'm not relaxed enough to calm.
I don't want to say that out
I
loud.
do all of it, so I don't.
Give secrets away.
Okay, stop. Don't edit. No,
you can say that. I
want
can't
to.
say that.
Why?
I can't say that.
No, I don't want to.
No, I'm there with you. Sometimes it takes like a few times, a few fucks with certain guys for me to be relaxed enough to do that. I can come.
No, I agree with that.
But I can't squirt.
This bitch is quiet. You know why? Because you can suck her nipples and she'll come.
Yeah.
Yes,
She is so like. I'm jealous.
What was it the other day? Oh, so I borrowed
I heard Steve talking about that, and I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna come watch, like just listen
I know,
to this
right?
shit." He's
Yeah.
like, tantric. I'm gonna like do all that. I'm like, "Damn, okay."
Let's go. Yeah.
Steve is booking.
He's reading some books and like researching every little button and what it feels
Mocha
like, and I'm gonna like put all these things inside you.
Mrs.
Like,
Mocha has experienced a Steve's shower session. I'm sure he's
we
ready.
didn't even
I'm
make
ready
it to
for
the
that.
exfoliation. It was supposed to be me going over there and him exfoliating me, and like because he's like has this like great thing that he does. Okay, we didn't make it that far. Like he like started. I think we were just wet. Like I didn't even think
like, oh, I'm already ready.
he like
I got
started
in the water with you and we're naked. Let's do it.
he like started playing with me, and then he brought this like ginormous like dildo thing, and I was like, oh, I can't take that. He was like, you can take it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm taking it. This is great. I'm like fucking, and I was like, okay, so when's the exfoliation?
Are you supposed to like rub on me a little bit?
Oh no, it was fine. I was completely good.
Yeah.
I left the house like, whew. Have you guys seen the SpongeBob meme where he has like the bonnet on and like his hand on his head? That was me walking out of their house.
I have the promise of exfoliation, but I'm also like, you can't get my hair wet.
I wore a shower
I guess
cap.
I
So
do-
he's like, bitch, you
I
got a
need to
shower
hang out
cap.
with Steve more because I haven't been promised.
You need
this.
an exfoliation.
Yeah.
I need to like start working on Steve a little bit. So
Yeah.
give me a little exfoliation.
Dude,
It's a process.
you didn't even like his dick is great. You don't even have to have the dick because everything else before it, you're like, dang, can we still go?
I really am spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
I am very
She
spoiled,
is when
and
it comes to
I'm
that.
aware of it. I'm
He's
aware of
very
it. So-
educated on the female body.
So, having orgasms, I've just been, I've been with this man for 25 years, and I've been so, lucky and blessed to have such amazing orgasms. So, yeah,
He like researches your spots and
oh my
finds them all.
God, he's a pussy master.
He really
He's a
is.
pussy master.
He
Yeah.
is.
Steve's a
So,
pussy master.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he's gonna hate this episode.
He'll be fine.
hate hearing
Right.
it.
Yeah, he's gonna hate it.
But Carrie
I wanna
can
be
even say,
exfoliated.
Carrie can even say that he's very particular
Yes.
Yes.
about who he fucks.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
a while to
Particular.
work Steve up.
and he has played with all of you lovely ladies. So
Yes.
you made the cut. Congratulations.
Yes.
Even though he called me out.
He called you out?
But you didn't know, so you're not supposed to say it. Don't talk about it.
Don't talk
No
about
one
it.
knows that you're, unless you don't care.
Don't talk about it.
You can if you want.
I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. I'm just telling you. No one would even know.
said
Only
good
you
things.
knew.
He
Yeah.
Say good things.
Yeah. And only you know.
Also, he loves my feet. So
Oh my
Yeah.
God, does he ever?
Really? Is he
Yeah.
a feet guy?
Yes, he loves
he's a foot
feet.
guy, and I
I
wear
did
a
not
size
know
5.
that.
I wear a size 5, so I have teeny tiny.
Yes.
Little,
Yeah.
I like it.
little
He-
tiny
He
little.
loves little feet.
slender feet.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to give him
Shimmy.
a foot job. Shimmy.
I've done a foot job.
I
Have you
know,
ever
but I
done it?
saw it on your I saw it on your Twitter.
Oh yeah.
You can say
Ooh,
Twitter
Bambi's
loud.
stalking us
Twitter.
on Twitter.
I'm stalking you.
I love
Bambi,
it.
I kind of like that you're
am-
looking at me
I
and watching
am
me.
inspired. I am considering a Twitter.
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Mocha just received his first thigh fuck. Like he did. Like
Wait,
you-
what?
Was it
So
good?
he
Like,
got like this
ooh, yeah.
chick
Oh, by
like
the
thigh
thighs?
fucked him. Yeah, because like it was like
Yeah,
a
that
video
shit's
that somebody
hot.
wanted. Yeah.
Get that pussy,
Oh.
get that pussy nice
Look
and wet,
on-
and you're just
on
sliding up
Twitter,
and down on the thigh.
Raven Kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like yeah, so she like
Yes, I saw
like-
that she posted they were
Yeah.
making some content
yeah,
together.
and all of it was like really good stuff. I was like, damn.
She's very sexy.
Oh
She
yeah,
is,
and
yeah.
she's like got like only fans and like all that shit down to
Yeah.
like a T, man.
Yeah, she knows her audience
She does
for
know
sure.
her shit.
I
So
feel like I could do not like actual anal, but like butt cheek, like because I have
Oh,
a
like
like a
big
butt fucking.
butt.
Squeeze your ass.
Yeah.
on.
Yes,
Like tight ass.
Don't
cheeks.
do that with Mr. Mocha. Okay.
Why?
Because he will stick it in your butt.
And that will hurt.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt once it's in. You just got to get there.
Just gotta let him shove.
Yeah. No, he doesn't shove it in. He knows what he's doing. He would never shove it in.
Sure, that would.
You'd be fine.
It would be a lot.
Once it got in there.
Yeah. Once it's the barrier that you have to get through which is just the initial
Like that first 1/4.
Yeah. And then once it's in, you're like, oh shit, that's okay.
Once it
This is
hits,
okay.
once it goes all the way in, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I kind of like that.
Oh
Actually.
my God, we so sidetracked so hard.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
We totally did.
It's good combo. Good combo.
Mrs. Mocha knows my stance on anal.
I know.
It's a hard pass.
I don't
It's
know.
it's
So
not my
just
go-to.
a
It's
question,
definitely
and I'm
not my
not
favorite.
judging you in any way, shape, or form, but I'm like, you use anal plugs.
I know. It's.
I mean, I'm not saying like you would take your regular
that I
guy
don't
in
enjoy
the
the
ass.
sensation. I think it's just a mental thing for me, for legit. Like it's just no.
Maybe just take a muscle relaxer or something.
Vibrating anal plug. Those are nice.
no.
A what?
The vibrating.
Mine
anal
has
plugs.
a ball in it, so when you're getting fucked, like the ball like shakes while you're getting fucked.
yeah.
It feels so good.
Huh.
It's not a vibrating thing, but
Yeah.
it has like it feels like a marble or something like inside of the thing, and it like make
Gives you a little extra sensation. Of
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't used it in so long. I'm not even sure my pinky would
Yeah,
fit in
and-
there right now.
And the anal plugs are much smaller.
Definitely
than,
so. We told this
I
story
mean,
last
I'm not saying Mr. Mocha. I'm saying like maybe start small.
I told this story last time. Tommy was like playing with me, and I was like liking it. It was feeling good. It was feeling good. I was all good. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, he gets close to a toy that's actually dick sized, and I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on, wait a minute, I'm not ready for that one.
Nope, can't do it.
That's
I
too
told
much.
you.
It's too much. It's too much.
Key is you have to
like,
have
"You were doing so
clitoral
good with the other one."
stimulation.
Right. Have either of y'all had DP?
That's the only thing I have not done.
Yes, I've had DPs.
I have not.
Yes.
I
I've
saw
done it
somebody
with
do
Steve and
DP
a
right in
dildo.
front
Does
of
that
me last
count?
weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Okay. Well, then there you
Those
go.
counts, yeah.
Yes.
What?
I've done it with Steve and a dildo.
Oh, that's Tommy's new like
So something
fantasy.
was in your ass.
Yes, I have
That's
done
fair.
it before.
That's
yes,
fair.
I just don't enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's
fair.
where I was
That's-
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I have
okay.
tried it. I have tried
Okay.
it.
I
few
just thought you were
times.
just saying like I don't.
No,
okay.
no. I have tried it a few times. It just
just
was
not her
not
jam.
No.
It's
Yeah,
not your
yeah,
jam.
yeah,
It's not her
yeah.
jam.
That's totally
Yeah.
fine.
But I'll try something first before I hate on it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
You are a classy slut.
Yes.
I did a DVP one time.
Ooh,
I don't think
totally
I
want to do that.
Don't think I could do that.
You could totally do it.
I think
It's
her
not-
pussy just got
It
wet.
just
You saying that?
and it was like
Yes.
it was just happened. Like I'm fucking this guy, and the guy was like cool as shit, like down for whatever. Okay, and then Mr. Mocha's like, let's both stick it in her pussy, and I was like, oh god. Because the dude wasn't a small dude.
Yeah.
So then, like, Mr. Mocha, like, did it. And, like, even though the other guy's dick, like, went down a little bit, because, it's like, that's
they're rubbing
complete
dicks.
contact.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's-
But
I love it.
it was still fucking good. It was that, but that's only happened one time.
In the moment, I'd probably be like, okay, yeah, sure. But like if you ask me now, I'd be like,
I don't know. About
It
Let's
really-
totally do it.
yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
going to
can
be
find
like.
two dudes down for it. Hell, yes.
Girl, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can totally.
Yeah.
You can totally do
Her
it.
Twitter
I'll find you
handle
somebody.
is.
Yeah, what's your
I
Twitter?
think I say
What's your
every
Twitter
episode,
handle?
I got somebody for that.
It's,
I can find somebody.
look, it's not just going to be any old dick, okay?
Yeah, you
I'm
want it to be
picky.
quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the
And
thing.
if it could be two BBC, that would be ideal.
I bet you could find it.
Yeah.
if it's like your first thing, you want it to be go well.
Yeah.
You know?
But that never happens. Like with DVPs, DPs, like I went
look,
through
I-
like
but even if
15.
If it's
I need to do
organic
a
and it
few
just
weeks.
happens,
Yes.
then
I need
in
to
the
do
moment,
a few
it's
weeks
like,
of
okay.
yoga and build up some flexibility.
For what?
Because I want to be, I don't want to be awkward and be in like some weird
She
stiff
wants to
position.
handle
I
that
want
shit
that stuff
like
to
a
just
fucking
I
pro.
love you.
slide
but
right
let me
in
just tell
there.
you that I've seen you fuck. a million times. And I've seen you literally in all kinds of twisted positions.
Okay,
I imagine that your body would relax
The
very
DDP
much.
will just go off without a
You'll see
hitch.
them dicks and you'll be like,
All right.
I think you could handle it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like
It's
you
on
were,
my list. It's on my fuck it list.
like
Fuck
you
it.
were saying,
Yeah.
Megan, though, it's like the first time, if it's a planned thing, like I said, I probably had 10 almost DPs
yeah.
before I actually got one. And it happened at a party, completely organic. And Mr. Mocha just walked up to this guy. He was like, hey, will you do a DP? And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I'm totally not ready. Oh, shit. And the guy, he was like, oh, yeah, sure. He was like, she's going to ride
Does
you.
anyone say no to that?
Well, I mean, I didn't
Some guys
know.
aren't
It was
comfortable
like a
with it,
couple's
yeah.
party, so I didn't know. Sometimes you don't know how the wife will be. So you're going to laugh so hard. It was on a fucking coffee table in a hotel room. Mr. Mocha laid on the coffee table, and the guy laid on the coffee table. I rode his dick, which was perfect because I could keep my legs down.
Yeah.
And I
Nice,
bent
yeah,
over, and
yeah.
Mr. Mocha fucked my ass, and it was great. Because the guy wasn't like huge.
Yeah.
I love
So
how
it
you
wasn't-
say it so matter of factly. Like it was like, yeah, that's how it went down. Boom. So the guy wasn't huge. I'm like, you're on a coffee table in a hotel room riding a stranger and your husband's fucking you in the ass. That
And you're
shit is
just
fucking
like-
amazing. Let's
Yeah.
pause
You're just like, no
for
big
a
deal.
second.
For a round of applause for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's we need some applause.
We do need
so.
to applause.
Applause,
I'll
yeah.
figure that out before the next episode. But I mean, like I've had that's why like every time we ask like the whole like hottest experience, like I think I've had so many at this point, like everything's just fun.
Well,
Unless
yeah.
it's just super disappointing, then
Yeah. Well, and
I-
there's some that are more fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Sure.
lately, this one's the hottest.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this one's standing out to me.
yeah.
But I don't know. I think for me, like, I think I go to like the ones where the hottest experience is usually like what would catch so many people off guard, like usually like the big orgies or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's kind of a little more rare.
Mm-hmm.
But like sometimes it's the more one-on-one, like just that certain kind of sexual energy you're feeling, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so fucking hot.
Yeah, that's
And, like,
awesome.
Yeah, like I think we had an orgy with you at Trap. You and like a bunch of other people one time, and
Probably.
with Carrie, because that was the first time that I actually got Steve's dick hard, and I was so fucking ecstatic, man. I was. Not that he like has had an issue. I say that because
He's
I didn't
picky.
think he was
He's
interested
picky,
in
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
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 And like I went over and was like, "Hey, can I suck your dick?" And I was sucking 2 dicks. It
Yeah.
was fucking
Nice.
great.
Nice.
Oh, it was great.
I love one in each
Yeah.
hand.
And then
And one behind me.
and then like that you were talking
Give me
about the
all the
energy,
dicks.
like there were people all over that room just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you could barely move. Like I
Yeah.
kept relocating
Yeah.
just so
love
that
that.
people could like be there. And it was so awesome. We like got in the car and like me and Mr. Mocha
That's
are
when I
all
just
like
go
pumped
from
up.
like one
yeah.
area to the next, and like people that happened to us last weekend. It was like people will take breaks, and I just like keep going to other areas, and I just keep fucking, and I keep fucking, and I keep rubbing, and I keep touching, and I keep kissing, and then I like Tommy comes back and he's like, "Did you ever take a break?" And I'm like, "No, I kind of need some water." Like I've been going this whole fucking time, and everybody's taking breaks, and I just go from one person to the
Yeah.
next.
That's awesome.
It's almost like you have to get your cardio up before you go
Yeah.
into like
Gotta
I'm
get
like,
some
oh, this one still
stamina.
needs
Yeah,
something.
you
Oh,
need,
this one
like-
this one needs some attention.
like Eye of the
he's over
Tiger
here.
song before
Right.
you get in the trap. Let's get on the treadmill.
Gotta
Dun,
hype yourself up.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm actually kind of like a little nervous about going to Splash in Fort Lauderdale because I haven't been like working out that much. So, and I really don't want to be like a pillow princess.
You'll be okay.
You'll be
You'll be
good.
fine.
Maybe
You'll
I'll
be
come
good.
back
This
like
is
10
the thing.
pounds lighter.
You're a champion.
This is
Come
the thing.
on.
When you have that many, let's be honest, when you have that many dicks all around you, like there's only so much. They kind of just move you where they need
Yeah.
you because you're like got one in your mouth, one in your hand, one in your pussy. Like there's only so much movement
yeah,
you
they're
can
looking.
do.
They're really looking out for you. Like move this here,
Like,
put that there.
Yeah, they just like
they'll-
kind of
yeah.
guide
Yeah.
you and
Put your
flip you
hips
around,
here.
or
Put your-
because
Yeah.
you're like I can't. I'm like worried about if I got one in my mouth, I'm worried about that one, but I'm also like trying to bounce my hips back a little bit. But then, oh, here's another one on my hand. Okay. And so then you're just like, you don't really have to do.
You are really masterful at it.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Listen.
But you don't really have to like, it's not like you're riding a ton and stuff.
I do. I try to though. Like I like to perform. I want those motherfuckers to leave.
But you don't have to.
But I want those motherfuckers to leave and be like,
no, me too.
Oh, that bitch was a freaky bitch. Like I'm going back to get some more of that pussy.
I always say that. I'm like, I want them to leave and be like, damn, that was fucking good. I need that again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean,
So
like
they walk away not they went in and it was like unexpected, like
I want to blow their mind.
Yeah.
I want to be the one that when they walk away they remember me.
Oh yeah, same. Same. Like that's the end game, the goal.
Yeah,
that is always my goal.
That's
like
the
even
pleaser part of me. I'm like,
don't you want someone talk when someone asks them what was your hottest experience?
I want to talk about
this freaking
the way that they all talk about you, Carrie. That's my goal.
Oh my god.
Same. Yeah. Same.
I listened to the podcast last time. I was like, Carrie, they talk about you like you're a fucking sex goddess.
Right. You're like,
I don't know why.
I'm not living up to that reputation. I'm sorry.
Fuck Carrie.
I'm like, damn, I need to fuck everybody so they can talk about me like this.
Right.
I'm telling you, just get once Tommy and your daddy are on here, they'll
talk about
some shit.
Yeah.
I just want Steve to talk about, like, every time he talks about it, I kind of blush a little bit. The first time that Steve saw me, because he puts in this like magnificent light, and I'm like,
now I want to hear the story.
I really don't think it was that awesome, but every time he talks about it, I'm like, oh my god!
But like I said,
I
heard her. I heard her name for 2 months
like,
before
who
I actually.
is this
bitch?
So,
oh my god! Like I really didn't think it left that much of an impression.
Oh my gosh, it really did. Yeah.
So when he talks about it, I'm like, oh my god!
I mean, and this is what 4 years later, and he's still mentioning it. Yeah. So
that makes me feel special.
When Pete does the podcast,
they could talk about it.
They can mention that.
Every time Steve talks about it, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm such a whore.
I know.
I think sometimes too you don't know what impression you leave on people.
Of course
because
not. Yeah.
There's been people that have walked up to us at Trap that met us like one time, and unless we have like quite a few encounters, I may or may not remember you. And it's not because, there's alcohol involved. There's like so many other things.
Well, and sometimes it's like, you meet them for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember their name. I remember
people.
The face maybe, but I don't like necessarily, and especially if there's like a lot of people in a room and you're all fooling around.
Right.
You don't know who's underneath that person and who's on top of that person.
Right.
Like you can't always.
Steve and I will have debates. Like I'm like, no, that was so and so that was over there. He's like, no, bitch, that was not that person. She was over there on sucking that bitch. And then
I'm like, wait, did I suck that guy's dick? When did I do that? And he's like, yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah.
You were like licking his balls while she was riding him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so it's easy
was it good?
to not remember.
And every now and again, he'll be like, yeah, you were dancing on the pole and all these people were watching you. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't remember anyone was looking at me. And he's like,
dance like no one's
you
watching.
were naked.
Yes.
You were naked
don't notice
on the
people are
pole,
watching
like
until you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm like, oops.
And then the next day, I'm all apologetic. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't embarrass you. Like, even if I remember everything, I'm thinking I was probably too boisterous I probably came on too strong or I probably was too forward or whatever.
You guys with your overthinking.
I do overthink it.
That
I do
shit
overthink
go.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
And like even when I'm in my element and I'm like dancing and doing my thing, I'm like the next day I'm like, I hope I didn't like come across like I wanted all this attention.
If you were
really,
there,
I could care less if a single person is looking at me.
if you were there genuinely enjoying yourself and you were being your honest self and
I could care
someone
less
was
if
offended
anyone's
by
watching
it,
that's their problem, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
those are people you don't need to be
They need to
hanging out with.
They need to go have their own good time and stop looking
Lifestyle has so much variety.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna find your people.
Yep.
It's magnetic.
Yeah.
You attract the
in
people
the moment.
that,
That's how I am. I'm like, I'm
just
going to
do what you want to do.
You don't like it, don't look. I don't
I almost feel like with lifestyle, you attract what you put out there.
Yeah.
And if you're putting good vibes out there, you're going to get good vibes back.
And there's always going to be someone that doesn't like you or has something to say about you, but
that's
I mean, that's their own insecurities.
Haters be hating.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Well, and you're not always going to mesh with everybody.
Right.
Different personalities.
Right. And sometimes, because all of us, I think, have a very strong personality and we know exactly what we want, it does come off as intimidating because Mr. Mocha had to tell me in the beginning. I had a few guys tell me that, you were super intimidating.
Yeah, I've had guys be scared of me a little bit.
I went to a house party by myself.
I'm like, but I'm so nice.
What is it?
House party?
A house party by myself. Carrie knows who it is. You probably do too, but it was so long ago. Mr. Mocha used to be gone all the time. So he was like, yeah, just go by yourself. If you feel like you're going to be fine, then just go. All right, fine. So I went as a unicorn. It's fucking great. I think I really didn't fuck anyone, but I may have fucked some people, but I was still like not afraid to get naked. I'm not afraid of that now, but I mean, like, I was in like 2 seconds. Nobody recognized me with my clothes on, quick. So I just took my clothes off. And then everybody was like, oh my God, then the party went on. The party went on.
When the party started,
I drove home. I had a great time. It was fun, this, that, and the other. And then I had like a couple reach out to me months later. I guess they found me on Facebook somehow. Months later, like, hey, how's it going? It was great meeting you. And I was like, question mark? Because I feel super bad when I do that. And they were like, you like opened us up to like lifestyle stuff. Like you were so confident. You were by yourself. You're married and you were by yourself at a house party with all these couples and just got naked and you were rubbing all over me. And I was like, oops. I'm so sorry. And she was like, no. She was like, it just let us know how like free. See, point of the story is like, you don't know how you impact people, but you also are like you said, you give off good vibes, but a party could be completely lame until one person comes in and lights it all up because they're like, let's get this shit started.
When I was doing all those lap dances not that long ago at that party. I was a little worried the next day. I was like, oh man, did it come across like I was like taking over or... but I really was just doing my thing. I was just having a good time. Like I did not even pay attention to anyone around me. Like I literally was going from person to person down the line of like in the chairs.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, one of the girls, the wives later, she was like, no, you totally inspired me to like let loose a little bit. Like, why am I so uptight? I need to just relax and have a good time and like live in the moment. And I'm like, and if you are not sure how to do that, come find me and I'm gonna help you.
I'll show you how.
You can dance with me. I'll bring you along. I'll hype you up. Like, let's go.
That's what women in lifestyle need to be about. Is inspiring each other.
Make you feel as confident as possible.
Love to be a facilitator. I love to be There have been a couple of times that I've been at Trap and I'm on the pole and I see women looking and I'm like, bitch, come on, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like,
yes, you can.
Anything that you do on the pole is going to be sexy as fuck. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you fall down. If you're holding a pole,
they need someone to tell them, like, no, this is going to be hot. You should feel good about this.
Come out here, dance.
Have a good time.
Yep.
And I don't, there's not a lot of body shaming there.
Right.
Like
there
it doesn't
matter
who you're dancing with. You bring whoever
Everyone
out on the
is
dance floor.
there.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing is there's so much variety and everyone is sexy in their own way. So it's like,
and everyone's attracted to something different.
Right.
And sometimes it is your confidence.
Yeah.
And it is your personality. And that makes you so much sexier.
Yeah.
So just be you and do your thing.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
Own the room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And everyone will come along with you.
Yeah. Put those good vibes out there.
Because I think some women get it a little jaded, and I know we're talking a lot today, but some women get it a little jaded. Like, they're like, if you're 300 pounds and you're out there on the pole and don't give a fuck, sometimes you see the ones that are 120 pounds and they're stuck in the corner with their own insecurities.
Timid,
and you're like, how, this chick over here is confidence out the ass and personality beyond anybody else's. And then you got the supermodel over here that's hiding in the corner because she's worried about what people are going to think. But, you know, it's not always, I don't want to say physical, or it's not always just the physical. It's everything.
Really is like
a
chemistry.
It's not just aesthetics. It's how you carry yourself, and a lot of people that other people think look good have their own insecurities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? Yep. And don't freaking get mad. This pisses me off. This is not a bitch session, but don't get upset because you're not always going to be somebody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Right.
If one couple out of 100 or one guy out of 100 says, I'm not interested in the nicest way possible, don't be mad at that dude.
Right.
You don't know what he likes and doesn't like.
And chances are you're not going to like every couple that approaches you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can't be... Mr. Mocha and I have had so many people tell us, like, oh, we're just not into the interracial thing. Did you think for 1 second I was walking around the club crying? Hell no.
You're like, okay.
I liked the honesty. Thank you for saying that.
Bye, Felicia.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd
but
rather
they were
you
still
do that and tell me than
Right.
be all uncomfortable and
and
weird.
they were still super friendly.
Yeah,
we
you
hung
can
out with
still
them. They
be-
had drinks.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you don't have to be mad at somebody because you're not their cup of tea.
Right.
Yeah.
For all you know, the husband may be bi and looking for dudes that night. I mean, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly what they're looking for. So
Yep.
don't be
Or
mad
maybe
about
they
it.
only watch and play together.
Right.
Or maybe they just like to do exhibitionist stuff
Yeah.
and fool
Or
around in
maybe
front of
they
everybody.
just there's no sexual chemistry, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
It's
Then you
all
just be
right.
friends with them.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There have been some people that I've been attracted to, and then once you start talking and like you just don't have that much in common, and there's just no chemistry.
Yeah.
Even if there's a certain attraction
It works
physically
both
at first,
ways. It works both
and
ways.
so you're just
And
kind
same-
of like, I don't think this
same
is
the
going to work.
opposite, where it's like they're right away you might not have been attracted to them, but if they're like super fun and they're like
sarcastic.
and
or,
they're like really witty,
You're like, oh
you're
my
like,
God, I love them.
There
I
have definitely
I think
been,
I might want to fuck them.
Yeah.
there have definitely been
Let me put your dick
situations
in my mouth.
that I've been in that I've thought, okay, like if I were walking by the dude on the street, right, I probably wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, I want to fuck that dude. But in the situation and talking and whatever, and
Right.
like he's super charming or charismatic or whatever, like when it happens organically is awesome.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
chemistry sometimes is just there, or it's not.
Yeah.
Even if
Right.
you want it to, you can't force it.
Right.
You
It
just have
sounds super lame, but don't judge a book by its cover.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if that's just what you're there for, because I mean, there's been, and I'm not like bragging when I say this, but there's been plenty of really fucking hot dudes that I've fucked that were terrible fucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck was that? Like,
I was not
and you
expecting
work yourself up because the physical is so good, but then
Yeah.
the chemistry ends up being shit. And you're
Right.
like, oh
Right.
my God, I just disappointed myself.
Yeah.
One of the hottest, like this dude was hot and had a huge, and I had a good time with him in a group situation, but one-on-one,
Yeah, I've had those.
Yeah.
it
I've
was
had
not,
those before too.
it was not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not great.
Yeah, and I also, like Mr. Mocha and I had to start going into situations with no expectation.
Yep.
At all.
Yeah.
Because it's easier because you're letting yourself down
was
later and
right.
you're like, fuck, I'm
That was
mad.
one of the like a motto of ours when we'd leave the house before livestock. No expectations.
No expectations.
Yeah.
No expectations. Whatever happens tonight happens. Like,
Yep.
let's leave it. You know.
Leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, I think there were a few times where both like would leave wherever we were going or wherever we came from disappointed because we're like, damn, because we were both new and excited because we were doing it together. So, and we'd had so many good experiences. The first few times we had terrible experiences, we were like, well, fuck, that sucked. But then we eventually just got to the point where like we'd get in the car and laugh about it like the whole way home.
I
Like,
think
wow.
I think our first really bad experience, we were almost like, this isn't gonna work. We can't do this. We're not gonna make it. Like,
Then you're like, JK, there'll be other times.
Yeah, let's just do it again. Let's try it
Yeah,
again.
you work
Right.
through it.
We don't want to be quitters.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And those luckily were very few and far between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do have those disappointing experiences still happen, but chemistry is key for sure.
And no expectation.
Yeah.
None.
Well, I think I told you one time I try and always like find something that I like.
I know, you're so positive. I love it.
Because I think like how I would want someone to think of me, like if for some, I mean, I try to like work it, like I want to blow your mind and try and do that, you know, but like, let's say I wasn't someone's cup of tea or something like that, but I try and find something, whether it was like oral or they were like really fun or like really, I was really comfortable with them, or maybe, I don't know, I try and find something.
I mean, though, like we went from like having mind-blowing sex with each other with like single people, then lifestyle. So like when we got in lifestyle, like it's not always going to be mind-blowing. There will be good things about it, but you're not going to go in and get in. Like I think some people, newbies, go in and are like, oh, we're going to have orgies. It's going to be amazing. What did I describe
orgies
it as
all
that
the time?
Yeah.
Orgies are pretty sporadic.
Greek, the church.
Yeah, the like some...
the cathedral that has like the naked orgies, like people laying all over the place, like like I don't even know.
I like that all the time.
Sodom and Gomorrah or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, like that was like my mindset when we went in. I was everything will be sexy.
Well,
it's not that it's bad, but just sometimes it's just not going to be that way.
It's not. Well, and for us, like.
Maybe that's a good motto just for anyone getting into lifestyle. No expectations. No expectations.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah. Just go in and like have a good time with yourself. And if some shit happens, then you had a great and even better time. Yeah.
Right.
Don't go in and be like.
That's how we kind of go into it now. At the beginning, we were like, okay, this is what we're hoping.
Game plan.
Yeah. Okay, if a girl comes up to you,
then you move over here and behind that wall, and then I'll reposition here.
Give me this look.
I'll give you the safe word and the signal, and you do that.
We're like, what should our word be if we're not interested? Because I don't know what to do, and we don't want to be mean. I don't know what to say.
We went through all of those conversations of should we pass out business cards? Should we have fake names? Do we need burner numbers?
There are people that do that, though.
Yes, all three. Those things do happen.
Yeah.
Really?
We answered no, and no.
Anyone give me a business card.
I know, but we've had a few people hand cards with like their SDC.
Yeah, or SLS handles.
Yeah, that's a little intense.
SDC, SLS.
I think that started though because I know a lot of people that did like lifestyle cruises and like traveling and stuff like that. Yeah. So they would get could like not
sense,
have to carry
those kinds of things.
Their phones around or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And you know, at Trap, you're technically not supposed to have your phone because of photos and videos and whatever.
Well, and people. For me personally, I'm so judgmental. I'm sorry, guys, but that to me just seems so over-eager. To be like, you meet someone and
they give you a business card.
You've not given them any indication that you're even remotely interested in playing with them, and they're like, "Oh, hi,
here's my business card.
It's getting late. We're getting ready to leave. Just in case you guys wanted to get in touch with us, have I done or said anything?
You're like, we don't
to you.
If I want to, I will find you.
I feel like it's those when you go to Vegas, and I don't think there's so much now, but. In the past days of Vegas, those people that would hold the cars and flick them at you like, here's my information. Call me.
Vegas, the strip was always littered with those cards. Yeah. So
here, you want it? Looking for a good time?
But even with like the names or burner numbers, like we had those questions early on. Yeah, do we give out our real telephone numbers? We don't know.
That's why you have like Kick and stuff. Did they not?
No, we finally were just like, oh, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
like, these are our names. These are our numbers.
Yeah, that was us. We were like, we don't care. We're on here, if you're going to see us here, you might. I mean, you already know us,
right?
So whatever,
right?
Like you already know what we look like. You have already seen us on the websites, like whatever.
You're a bunch
if you're
of
looking at me right now,
you already seen me fuck, and I'm naked, so whatever.
If you're looking at me right now and you know me, keep your mouth shut.
I'm so dead. You don't have to say that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, we only.
Okay, he can edit that.
Yeah, it's fine. You can leave. You overthinking. You can leave anything on. When we first got him, we only use aliases now. In lifestyle, we use our real names.
Yeah.
But we only use them now in worry of maybe our kids at some point. But I mean,
I worry.
I thought your real name was a fake name.
A lot of people did. Yeah. A lot of people did. Everyone that knows my real name will understand why.
That's a made up name. Come on.
I literally.
Nobody's name is that.
Who was it that somebody came into the party last time and said their name? And I was like, no, really, like, what's your government name? Because we know that is not your name.
What's on your birth certificate?
Yeah.
What's on your social security card?
Yeah, because that's not it. That's not it, buddy.
No.
Anyways, well, I think we've talked a lot today.
Yeah. This has been much better than take one.
We
I
did
think.
so
We did.
So
Guys,
pat
we
on
did
the back.
So good.
Pat on the
Where's
back.
the applause?
I can't do it. I don't know how.
Golf clap.
Mr. Mocha's the
Golf
tech
clap.
person.
we stayed mostly on topic.
Yeah, we did a great job.
Yeah, we
did a great job.
I always love time with these lovely ladies, right?
Our slut sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Bambi.
Happy.
You'll be coming back.
Yay.
Yay.
I love coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Hands raised if you love coming.
Oh my God.
Bye.
We have
Oh,
a
wait, do we
video.
need to say our names?
Oh, yeah, you got to do your Twitter thing.
Yeah, I already started the music, but you can do it during the
I'm
music.
sorry. Okay. Mine's SN Sultry. So SNSULTRY. And then, it's already
That's
over.
okay.
I'm sorry.
We're going to have to.
And then, isn't the Twitter SN Sultry 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
They helped me
God.
remember.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then Carrie's Twitter is.
It's at Carrie Corrupted, CarrieCorrupted.
And then, of course, Mr. Mocha's Twitter handle is OFaces, OFACEZ1.
I don't have a Twitter, but I'm considering it. So,
Maybe next time.
listeners,
we shall
listeners,
see.
if
We
you would
shall
like me to
see.
join
Yeah.
Twitter, comment
Yeah.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that you said that.
And subscribe. That's to my OnlyFans.
That's you
Oh, or
too,
y'all.
right? Comment,
Yeah.
Follow.
Yeah.
Follow.
thumbs up. Can you thumbs
Follow.
up?
You can
What do you do?
follow.
Okay, follow.
You
Follow.
like,
Yeah, you can
like and
follow.
retweet.
If you
Yeah,
want,
like and
retweet.
Yeah.
If you want Bambi to have a Twitter so that you can see some adult content.
Bambi tits. Ooh.
Yeah.
Bambi tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see the titties or the ass.
Yes.
And
I'm
I'm gonna
strongly
like and
considering
retweet.
it. Like
Yeah.
and retweet. Like and retweet.
Like and retweet from me. Yes.
Also, I did forget that if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, you can send us an email at ofaceslife@gmail.com. It's OFACEZLYFE@gmail.com.
Oh, what kind
Good
of questions?
job. Look at you.
We got to turn the music back on now.
Okay.
So, anyways, ladies, again, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And we're going to say goodbye from the Mochas.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.